Have you heard about the salt trick that's making men stay hard for hours in bed? It might sound
No, I haven't
bizarre,
heard of
but your
that.
wife or
Please
girlfriend
tell
will
me,
thank
ma'am.
you for watching this video. Go to your kitchen, grab a
bet he
pinch of
will.
salt, and try this simple 15-second trick
All right, hold on. Let me
discovered.
go get some salt.
That's it. That's the intro to the whole interview right there.
Awesome.
You're listening to the Media Man Dan Podcast. Promoting people with passion all over the globe. Interviews every weekend. Album reactions every month. This is your host, Media Man Dan. Let's rock!
So we're chasing the sun. Don't need a reason, we're having fun. Found a place to belong. We're never leaving, our lives begun.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Media Man Dan Podcast. Today is the brand new intro for this entire podcast. It's an absolutely epic intro, and just like an absolutely epic feel, you're getting an absolutely epic person. This is Brian of the VIP Soundcheck, here to bless us once again with the wisdom, with the joy of music, with all of the inspiration and passion that you could ever imagine. And this man is absolutely worthy of all of the rewards he's already been given, and he will continue to grow on this path. So I want to welcome my friend Brian Moritz to the podcast. Welcome back, dude. It is so nice to have you for technically the second or third or fourth. I don't even know time.
Thank you, brother. It's awesome to be back. Thank you again for that amazing intro. I said before, and I mean, I'm going to hire you to be my hype man. I love how you do that. It
Comes natural, man.
That's right.
And I love it too. I think it's literally what I was made to do. So if I don't do
Absolutely.
it, I'm not doing what God has given me.
There you go. Exactly.
But man, how have
Yep.
you been this year? It has been a crazy
good.
upward climb, and you've made it.
It has. It's been crazy. I mean, ups and downs like everything, but all in all, really good year. Been busy. Like you said, it was towards the end of last year of 2023 when I left the prior channel that shall remain nameless, and I started VIP Soundcheck, and then immediately my channel was attacked by the prior channel. We'll leave it at that. Shut down unfairly, and then had to restart. And I've been dealing with some kind of petty crap the whole year, but it hasn't slowed me down. Just like you, if somebody's got something negative, oh well, we're gonna keep moving forward. So
Yeah.
it's been awesome.
And it's been amazing to see how much you've grown, because you're playing by the rules, something I could never imagine doing for YouTube. Brian plays 4 seconds of a song and then switches to the next part of the song for 4
That's right.
seconds and then switches to... it's like how to kill music. Follow YouTube's community guidelines.
Yeah, it's so frustrating, and honestly, so it's a little over 5 seconds you can do. It's frustrating. And so what I try to do is put out maybe 30 seconds of a clip and see if it will go. I'll upload it, see if it'll go. If it can't, and really that's the only reason why I do that cutting of it, is so that it simply doesn't get copyrighted and it can stay out there. As you and I have talked about, I don't really care about money. I want to be able to put it out there. And I've had people ask me, why do you do that? And I explain it's because it doesn't get copyrighted. Most people understand. Some people, I hate it. It's like, well, okay, well then you don't have to stick around. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But that really is why I have to do that with so many of my videos. But it's still, what's nice is it still gives everybody an opportunity to hear a little bit of what that band sounds like. And that's what I want to make sure that I have in there.
Absolutely epic. As I said, guys, this is exactly the man. He's the man of all men. This is the Brian of Brian's. This is the man.
There you go.
I have nothing left to say, man. You are the man. So here, this is the biggest thing I've said about your channel since I've been watching it with friends, family, Allison, everybody. I have never seen a more like semi-comfortable Brian on screen. Like, you are so comfortable with everything. At the same time, you push all of the edits in so much that I'm like, wait, he's forgetting that he needs to take the spotlight. You're giving it to all your people like I do, but remember, man, we can stay on screen and still give that perspective. I love overlapping myself with the reactions and things like that, but I always would put myself just somewhere on the screen in a corner or something like that. Otherwise, people would be like, oh yeah, that's right, I should go watch that video right now. And then they'll be like, peace out, Brian. I'm gonna go rock with the warning. Thanks to you, I'm gonna go give them views and leave your channel. No.
Hey, you know what? If they're getting views, that's what I'm all about. And you know, it's like we've talked about before. I learned right away it's not about me, and it's about the artist. And if the artist looks good, then I'll do well as well. So I'm not overly concerned about that. That's, as a fan of music, that's what I want to see, and I want to hear about is the artist and the song, and that's why I try to, you know, focus as much as I do on the artist. Now, sometimes I'll throw in a little bit about myself, you know, not to try to steal thunder, but if it's something cool and something that relates, like with the warning and, you know, when I talked about more and I'm like, yeah, I gave Danny the pillow. Like, that was the donut pillow. That was something special for me. So, you know, I will throw stuff like that in, but yeah, I try to keep it on the artist.
Yeah, you do. And he's a true fan for that one hater that I absolutely wrecked in the comments. Yes, he is
yes,
not
he did.
going
It was
to
great.
diss any of the artists that he loves. He knows that he is absolutely on board with them. As soon as he hears something and he presses that subscribe button, like all of you guys should be doing for his channel right now, go to the description and hit the subscribe.
And Dan's as well.
Yes, go to my Rumble and hit follow, and you better be following me on Spotify. Otherwise, I can't keep doing this. It's just getting too hard. No, it's so much fun. I love doing this. But either way, man. So my thing about your following of YouTube's algorithm is that he understands when they said shorts are going to make you popular, Brian took it and ran with it all the way home 400,000 times. He has put out more videos than I could even fathom just on shorts alone. And they consider them real videos. You look at the video numbers on YouTube and it's like 764 uploads. I'm like, the fuck, Brian? Hey, leaving me in the dust, dude.
Well, I will say, there's a program that you can use, and it kind of feels like cheating. It's called Opus Clips, and if Opus Clips, you see that? Feel free to sponsor me because I love you guys. They do an awesome job. They use AI, and they'll go into, so you put your long form video in, and they will kind of like chop it for you at cool interviews. And they'll give you anywhere from like 4 to 20 of them. And you go through and it'll put the words on for you. Now, sometimes you have to change it because it doesn't hear it right. So you just go through but it really does a lot of that shorts work for you. And so, yeah, shorts have been awesome. And like you said, unfortunately, it's like you got to kind of play the game with YouTube, which a lot of times sucks. And what I hate about the algorithm is that they never tell you exactly what it is. And they'll change it, and you're just supposed to figure it out. And it's like, what? Why can't we just let good videos be out there and have people like them? But
well, it used to be back in time that you could just put a popular hashtag, and then people would constantly be searching that, so therefore they could find your video. Till they found out that people that had nothing to do with the hashtag were putting the hashtag there and spamming words that would be trending at the time, so that people would have no choice but to click on your video.
I knew somebody that did that.
Oh, that's crazy. You mean Alex Hefner? No, I'm just kidding. Alex, I love you. I absolutely love you. I love that you had 55 million different words underneath your descriptions when you were making reactions. I noticed it. I saw it, and I almost did it myself, and I was like, I don't have the time to type this. I'm going to have but now they've actually changed it to where they start punishing you if you have more than 3 hashtags in a video. So stupid.
And so I learned that I was like, you know, one day I looked up, you know, what's going on with the algorithm now, or I saw a video, something, they talked about it. It's been changed. Now You only want, because it used to be the first three that you put were the ones that would show up in blue up at the top, but you can put as many as you want. Now they're saying limit it to just those three.
Dude, do you know how long it took me to realize that you could add hashtags to your title? I put them in my description the whole time. I was like, no one will ever find these because I'm putting them in the description and no one opens my description. How does this work? Until one day I typed in £, the warning, love bites, whatever it was, and boom, I saw it in blue, like you just said, and I was like,
Yep.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. And that happens to me all the time, Brian, all the time. So let's talk about not being an idiot. So these shorts things are great, but I really enjoy pants. What do you think of pants, Brian?
I actually just prefer just going all natural.
That's it. All natural.
That we have got full freedom. I'm good to go. Thank God this camera only goes down to about here, or this would be. We would be in violation right now.
That's it. Oh, well, I could care less about violating their terms and regulations these days. And I'll go into that later on. But I got to say this. You have figured it out, and you deserve to grow as much as you have in the period of time, because you restarted with something that was so good that people had to come and find it for a second time and continue watching. That is how good it was. And it's something so simple as asking people for their own opinion. That's what Carly used to do. That's what something I would barely do because I was too busy praising something so much. I'd be like, peace. And I'd be like, oh, maybe I should have asked them something or like involved them in this. But you engage with your audience. You put those polls out and you get your responses. What do you think of these polls that you've put out so far? How has it turned out compared to how you originally thought?
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun. And so what it really kind of came about was, I've been doing artist spotlights, obviously interviews. That's kind of my bread and butter. I started doing, hey, you got to hear this, which could be new songs, just songs that I like and could put out there. And but it was one of those things where I thought, I've always loved cover songs. You and that's how we met, was through a cover band, obviously First to 11. And I've always liked, and I always thought, oh man, I wish so-and-so would do a cover of this, or who did the best cover of this. And so I had the idea, and I looked around, and I didn't see anybody doing anything like this. And I call it the Cover Song Showdown, where I'll take, a classic, well-known song, say like Metallica's Nothing Else Matters. I'll play a little bit of that, and then I find 3 artists that have covered it, play a little bit, and I was just going to leave it at that, like, hey, here's my favorite. And then I thought, well, I'd love to hear from people what they think. So I started researching, like, how do you do, how do you have voting in YouTube? Because I didn't know how to do it. I had no idea the community page even existed until I searched. It was like, yeah, do it on your community page. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I figured out it walks you through pretty easy how to, set it up for a certain time and then let people vote on it. And it's been awesome. I mean, the comments that you get, people are like, oh man, I love this artist, but I've never heard the third one and I've got to check them out. That's what motivates me. And then people are like, hey, so-and-so did a cover, they weren't in your video, check them out, or I'd love to hear you do this song. And it's been cool because it allows me to connect with folks that, I haven't met in real life and hear what they love about music. And I got to tell you, one of the coolest experiences of my life was this past week at the Warning Show. And I was standing in line. I actually took my mom. My dad was going to go, but he was sick. And we were waiting for VIP. And I kid you not, there was 4 people throughout the day that came up. They're like, hey, are you the guy from VIP Soundcheck? And I'm like, who I am? Sweet. I'm like, yeah. And that was so cool. I'm like, these people actually, one guy's like, I love your videos. I'm like, dude, that meant the world to me. I'm just some goofball from Erie, PA. But you're getting joy out of what I'm creating. That blew my mind. It was awesome.
Dude, have you checked their Patreon to see if you're a trending one?
What's that?
Have you checked their Patreon to see if you're trending as one of the reactors that they constantly promote? Because they promote like everyone reacting.
No.
No?
No, the war. No, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to search that later. I'm gonna have to type in the VIP Soundcheck and see if if I know, I'm gonna say Phil probably shares the shit out of your stuff. Because
Okay,
Phil's a
cool.
diehard fan. I cannot remember what his logo is, but he always showed up whenever I did warning stuff, and he'd be like, "Here's my opinion on it." I'm like, "Thanks, Phil."
Nice.
Need that, and then
Well,
of
hey,
course,
Phil, if you're watching this,
yeah, Phil, you rock. You seriously rock, dude. Appreciate all the love from all of the time on YouTube, and I will definitely appreciate it from where I go next because a lot of plans coming in the future. And speaking of future plans, let me just say this: your past is dead, and as they said in Star
That's right.
Wars: The Last Jedi, let the past die. Kill it if you have to. I'm
Yep.
looking at your old channel, which will not be named, and you're not kidding. Not one fucking community post. Unbelievable. Like, this is the saddest thing to know that anyone had the chance to take a little minute of their day to learn how to do that. And because that never happened, the growth never happened organically. And here you
Yep.
are, super organic. This man is straight Whole Foods with his content. He is constantly growing the most delicious treats every single day. Healthy for you, great for the family. Everyone can enjoy it. And you guys can vote in polls. You guys can comment. You guys can like the videos. And you see more. Instead of
Yep.
one video and then swept from the algorithm, swept from the feed, and swept from everything because of copyright strikes like I got, I say Brian has figured it out, and I give him the props that he deserves for this because he is the
Thank you.
master. He is the master. I am now the student of what I thought was easy work. It is no longer easy to continue doing that.
well,
So,
I mean, and I got to let everyone know, when I first started on this journey, I mean, Dan taught me a ton. I learned a lot from you, and I will forever be grateful from you and from Carly Shay and Jimmy and some others that came along that just it was invaluable what I learned. I remember calling you and I'm like, dude, I got this editing program. This is a foreign language. What am I looking at here? And you helped me out big time, and I really appreciate it.
yeah, man, you have to start somewhere, and you did it perfectly. And speaking of Carly Shay, congratulations to her and her husband. I have no idea
Yeah.
if she took his name, so I have no idea if she will be Carly Shay in the future. I don't know if Shay What Now is going to exist. I don't know what's happening, but I'm excited to have them back on for another chat. I think I want to have them for the birthday one. I'm trying to figure out when they're available.
Okay.
However, it all has to happen this week, bro. So, I mean, I'm cramming too much into one little piece of time. It's not going to
Yeah.
be easy. It's probably next week. I'm going to have to do it next week. But either way, Carly's awesome. You guys should really go and check her stuff out. She's a really wholesome, really good person, and she deserves to have all the love in the world from her husband and
Yep.
from all of you guys, too. So give some.
And
give some
Johnny's
absolute
an
love.
awesome guy too. Her husband is an awesome dude.
Yes, a great Christian man with some
Yep.
impressively smart ideology when it comes to questioning society, politics, everything. I like to see his posts
Yep.
because he always makes me think in the Christian mindset that I once abandoned and then always have in the back of my mind as, nah, that's right. No, that's definitely right.
Exactly.
No, that I can't disagree with that. Nope, that makes sense too. It's like all these things they've changed me. And Brian, I got to say this. I know this is a Patreon exclusive. Did you see Tom McDonald's new post?
Yes.
Scary movie.
I love Tom McDonald. That dude is so freaking funny.
He is, man. He is,
And
a
he's dead
genius.
on all the stuff. It's like, man.
Yes, and we still love him. I mean, we were talking about him last time. We were talking about him with the Carly thing and everything. Meeting Tom. You probably want to have an interview with him and Nova and everybody else
That'd
as
be
well.
awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, he's not just smart with how he promotes his stuff, but it's how much he doesn't show that I love about the guy. Like, he always promotes,
Yep.
here's the most triggering thing, but my album came out, so go check out the album. Here's the most insane thing you've ever seen that's going to upset the entire community. Also, a new single is dropping Friday. That's how he does it. He's so smart.
Yep.
And I love that. I think that is genius marketing. It's supposed to be triggering. If anyone gets offended by it, you have failed because you're not
Yep.
supposed to see it like that. You're supposed to see it as what's coming next. That's what it is. A next update. That's all that it ever is. And I love that.
Exactly.
He's a good guy, and he makes great
Yep.
music. His music has gotten a little bit more rappy. You noticed recently is the
I've noticed,
collaboration.
yeah, he's starting to go back to more of the rap, whereas for a while it was like the, I would say kind of rock punk
Yeah.
for. So I prefer that, but I mean, he is the one rapper that even his rap I don't mind, but I do prefer the rock and punk. So, but he kind of ebbs and flows like that. So
But you also
he
love his
keeps it fresh.
ballads. You love those
Yes, I do.
softer, deeper meaning kind of
Like
songs.
church.
Church and the one with the plane in the background or the missile.
Yeah. What the heck was the name of that?
I loved it.
Not End of the World, is it?
No, not that one.
That was the one with John Rich.
Yeah, my dad loves that one. He loves John
Yeah.
Rich now. Did you know where John
Yep.
Rich came from?
Well, I know he's big and rich.
I thought as well. I was like, oh, he's big and rich. Do you know where he's actually from?
Uh-uh.
Lone Star.
Oh, he was. That's right. Somebody said something about that, and then I went back and I remembered Lone Star when I looked at pictures. I'm like, that is him.
Yeah,
When I was a
dude.
kid, I loved Lone Star.
Oh my gosh, Lone Star. I have their greatest hits. I think we have 3 albums. I don't know. I don't know if I got rid of them. I don't think I would. I think I gave them. If I didn't have them myself, I would either give them back to Allison or give them to somebody that loves them. But I don't think I would get rid of Lone Star because they are the Rascal Flats that happened before Rascal Flats. I mean, that's
Exactly.
the thing about them is like they're so amazing. They're amazed.
Yep.
Wink at the
There
camera.
you go. There you go.
Yeah, they're amazing. Girl, I'm
Yeah,
amazed by you.
Yeah, and it just kind of like before you knew it, they just fell off the face of the earth.
Yes, and it's sad because they were very talented and they were doing the everything that Rascal Flats was doing, but what they did not have was Gary Laveau. And when
Yep.
you don't have Gary Laveau, you failed. I'm sorry. The only way that you can beat a Gary Laveau is if you trade him up for a Shay Mooney from Dan and Shay. That dude is unbelievable how good he sings. I mean, if you put Gary and Shay on the same song, there's no hope. You have nothing left as a vocalist. You can never reach that potential. I'm sorry, guys. I know you think you're like the best vocalists, but you're just not. You can't hit that. They're
Well,
high
it'd be like
vocals.
it'd be like if you took Chris Adam from Smashing to Pieces and Brent Smith from Shinedown,
Yeah.
and they did a song together. You'd be like, nobody might as well sing ever again.
Oh, speaking of Shinedown, let's just rip off the Band-Aid. What do you think of the new Linkin Park?
Here's I'm kind of torn on it, and I'll tell you why. I like the new song, and I think she did really well on the new song. I don't think she's very good doing the older songs that were Chester. And I know that everybody's going to say nobody could be Chester, and that's true. But I think that she falls kind of flat on that. My personal opinion, I think they would have been better off rebranding the band as something new and moving forward rather than, hey, build it up, we're Linkin Park, we're back. Chester was Linkin Park. I mean, I think if they would have done that and then at live shows they could have done 2 or 3 of the older, well-known Linkin Park songs, I think that would have been cool. Honestly, I think Mike Shinoda kind of set her up for failure.
I like
That's
that.
the way I look at it.
I like that perspective. I have to say, she is great for their new music. She is great.
Yeah.
In
The
studio.
new song I loved, and I
Yes.
thought she sounded awesome.
Yes, I think the Emptiness Machine is literally a great step forward for Linkin Park. Having
Yep.
her perform those Chester songs without any of the emotion, forcing the grit in her
That's
voice,
it.
and changing the key so that it's better for her register. I said this on the live stream. There's just so many things that don't fit as what I would know in critic wise what Linkin Park looks for. Like Linkin Park always looks to be the most different, unique sound that they all agree with making. The last thing we were left with, I said it on the stream, was Chester One More Light, a pop alternative album. There is nothing there that is rocky, that is metal, that has any screams. There's no grit to his voice because it was hard on him. It was made with emotion. The lyrics are extremely hard to listen to, especially these days when you know he's gone. It's all the other stuff that they're taking from, and it's like, oh well, here's Hunting Party. We'll throw some Hunting Party in. Oh, here's what's the other album? The 2011, 2012 one. Living Things, Hunting Party. That's what they decided on. And I'm like, so you're just going to ignore One More Light that you forced all of the fans to say this is what the next Linkin Park is. You're going to ignore that and go back to what you said you could no longer do for this new chick that can't even sing in the right range. I'm not okay with that.
Right. Exactly.
That's not how you do things. However, you know, props to Emily. She's doing what she can. She's singing how she does, and I appreciate the new stuff.
I don't have, and honestly, she's getting a lot of hate, and I think that's kind of unjustified, to be honest with you. It's, you know, first of all, the whole Scientology thing, and I'm not a fan of Scientology at all, but
no.
For all we know, she hasn't been a member of forever. Like, how is she going to be held responsible for something that happened when she was a kid?
Exactly.
Like, come on, people, give it a rest. And she came into an impossible situation. And I don't blame her, but I think that they kind of set her up to fail.
Well, they set her up to be instantly judged. I mean, they could have at least recorded more than just one song and had them do those songs live and then take the fans and say, oh, this is my Linkin Park now. Instead of having her balls to the wall. Let's do Crawling. Let's do In the End. Let's do Numb. Let's do Waiting for the End. It's like, no, you do not touch those. Those are masterpieces made with extreme emotion now. Now that we know what happened to the main vocalist who sang those songs with his heart and soul incredibly well. So it's like, don't touch that. Just leave it and continue. Like, show us, okay, Emptiness Machine, show me this new song, show me this new song, and that's it. And why don't you release, instead of playing your games with all of our brains, I rhymed there. You see, Mike, I rhymed. I put a rap verse into my own podcast, Mike Shinoda. And so this is it. Like, it's crazy. It sounds crazy, right? But when you have a release that you're doing with a countdown, you stop at 0 and you don't count back up and then make us keep watching a clock until it gets to a certain thing to figure out the code. This is not the 13 on Taylor Swift. This is not the Easter eggs that you're going to find. We don't need that. Just please,
I agree.
Give us what we're expecting. It's either a big announcement, a tour, something of that sort. And when everyone started just dick riding, that was when my biggest issues came in, and that's when I started to speak up, because I started seeing it was no longer just the stupid hate comments, but it was the stupid over-loving comments. It was like, listen, I'm the good guy because I like women. I'm the good guy because I think she sounds good. I'm the good guy because I like what they do. You got these
people like, oh, I'm gonna say she's awesome just because she's a woman. That's absurd.
Rockfeed.
If she sucks, she sucks. If she's good, she's good. Who cares?
Rockfeed was literally like just soaking it up that day. All they were doing, that guy who runs their stuff, was just every contrarian point of view. He was pushing it out all the time. You know, we love Emily. Emily's best hits. Why Emily is the best for Linkin Park. Oh, I think that this is the only singer for Linkin Park. It's like, please just stop. We know what you're doing. And you're just riling up the fan base to say more stupid shit that they're going to be like, well, you know what happened to Chester? I hope that happens to Emily. Well, you know, I don't like Mike anymore. You know, I don't like... It's like, it's just no. And I've said it in my stream. I'll make it clear. It'll come out before this. But it's like, it's such a simple thing. You know Linkin Park as the band that always tries new things. You know Linkin Park as the band that does not make mistakes, but you grow into their music after it comes out. No one likes their first release on the day of the release. It never happens. They're like, Hybrid Theory. Fuck, what is that? Rap and metal? Who wants that? That's disgusting. Meteora. Why would they go so soft? We wanted rap and metal. Minutes to Midnight. What happened to the rap? Why is all this rock? 1,000 Suns. What happened to the rock? We wanted more. Like, it always always is a problem for fans to just grasp that it takes some time and it takes listening over and over. But I can say Emptiness Machine is rent-free in my head, whether I want it to be or not. It's always playing up there. And I think it's
It is a
Chester's
great
writing.
song.
I think it's Mike's writing. I think it's where the band should go. I hate that it's the direction that I wanted Chester to go in the last album, but it didn't happen. I dealt with it, and I want to see what they do. If they suck after this, I'm happy to roast them to the core, no question.
Right.
But this is not the end. This cannot be the be-all, end-all for Linkin Park. One single and an album that comes out in November that we haven't heard, and we're all like, oh my god, this is the worst or the best. It's like, no, it's not.
Exactly.
You can't say anything like that. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, people get nuts, man. But I've seen that with Linkin Park fans, with fans of almost any band. The one thing I never understood is people were like, I love this band, and it's the only band I listen to. Are you kidding me? Like, how freaking boring is that? You listen to the same... I love The Warning. I love Smashing to Pieces. I listen to 500 bands. I don't want to have the same thing all the time.
Yep. But they're in your top 10. Like, that's what you do, is you create this ranking of, like, well,
Yep.
how much did I enjoy listening to every single song? And whenever a new release comes out, you're like, oh man, they just keep pushing it up, like Smashing to Pieces, that new
Exactly.
album from the last year, from this year, they just keep pushing their way up. The Warning, their production has gone insane, and as we might be critical of it, we have to respect that that's insanely popular sound for what we are getting in this modern age, and they're going to
Right.
stick into that, and we're like, hell yeah, we want them to blow up. Obviously, we don't want them to be pinup dolls like VMAs did to them, but at the same time, we're happy to see them succeed as the young ladies that we remembered becoming women that are rocking the world. And it's awesome that they're doing it and that they have the backing that they do. And that's why I brought up Linkin Park. Shinedown has backed Linkin Park so much that
Yep.
I am so on board with the idea of thinking they might be an annoying band. And I love Shinedown, but they have been doing everything in the wrong way to be like, yeah, we're one of those. We like her. Yeah, we'll go you. Yeah, no matter
Yeah.
what you do, we like it. That's not good. That's not critical. And same with T-Rock.
Yeah.
Trevor McNevin, I've seen all of his likes on every single Linkin Park post. I know he loves Linkin Park. I love Linkin Park. I love Eminem. But I can absolutely say, if this is missing, if this is something I like, if this is something I hate, if this is something I'll never listen to, that's just me, though. I mean, not everybody's
Yeah.
a critic, but these bands I would figure is not like standing as much as they are. Like, they're the big ones, and they're like, oh my god, yes, Linkin Park, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, yep.
Where's the love for Korn? Where's the love for fucking Limp Bizkit? No, not Limp Bizkit. But dude, have you
Limp
seen
Bizkit.
Fred Durst and his country stuff now?
You know what? Anytime now I think of Fred Durst or I think of Limp Bizkit, now forever in my mind they're going to be linked with Corey Feldman, with that whole Lou Serville tour. That dude, have you seen him perform?
Yes. Stevie T
It
broke
is-
him down perfectly.
Freaking painful watching it. And the worst part is he legitimately thinks that he's great, and it's like, dude, what are you doing?
He should
Like, this is just.
he should join Puddle of Mud.
Yeah, seriously.
I want to hear Puddle of
So
Mud
bad.
covering Nirvana again with
With Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman on guitar. The amount of cringe, the amount of secondhand embarrassment that you could face just by watching that performance mixed with Corey Feldman's guitaring, his guitar playing. It's amazing. And we want to thank you. We want to thank you for having the balls to throw your careers away and somehow become bigger than you've ever been. So
He does have cojones. I'll give
great
him
job,
that. I mean,
great
it's,
job.
it's like when you go to karaoke and there's that person that just really sucks, and they get up for the third song, and you're like, hey, maybe
No.
you're done.
And they play with the crowd.
Corey leans into it and was like, there was the one guy that thought I was good. And he's going all in.
Yeah,
I'll
that
give him
one
credit
guy,
for
that toddler that was just born yesterday, they think that
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. They think that's music. Yeah, even Stevie
Go buy
T.
my $250 box set. Yeah, okay for it.
He roasted him so bad, dude. Oh my gosh, that was a terrible performance, and I don't want to continue the hate train, but like, there's a lot of performances that I've seen recently where I'm changing my perspective on things. Jimmy's probably gonna be upset with me. I had to unfollow Deadlands, and I had to unfollow because I loved Casey so much. I love her personality so much, and I was like, well, she's improved so much. These vocals are great. I love Villain. I love this. I love this. And then I listened to it live, and once again, the pitch is lower. This is not the first time I've seen this recently. And they don't have the feel that they do from the studio recording. And I'm
Really?
like, I like her, but I don't like them. That's the problem. And I'm like, okay,
Gotcha.
well, I gotta unfollow it. I'm just a fake fan if I continue thinking that this is gonna get any better, and it's mediocre at best, man. I mean,
So they were really disappointing live?
yeah, what I was watching on YouTube literally a couple days ago, I was like, why? Well, what happened? Like, you guys were picked up by Nita Strauss? Like, she was like, Casey Carlson, that's who I want on my tour. And I'm like, every vocalist has a chance. Casey Carlson, though. But why? She's got the energy, I guess, and that's fine. If you got energy and you got charisma, that's a way to make it in rock music. But if you are singing and you're just at the beginning of your career of singing and you cannot hit notes professionally, I would say probably stop hitting those notes and just write something else. That's a pretty easy thing for you to do. And please don't drop it an entire pitch when you're doing it in vocals and in real live music. Like, don't drop keys. I was like, okay, wait, it can't just be me here. It can't just be me. I clicked and I was like, all right, let me just click this. I was like, all right, okay, got it. Villain, you're the villain. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I go on to Instagram, you're the villain. I'm like, wait, what? Why? That's not even close. She's like, I'm not even in the right key there. But, oh, man, it was painful. I was like, no, I've had the rose-colored glasses. They got me again. Again. And that happens.
We both been there, so
Yes, sir. So let's talk about what you've been doing cover band-wise. You've been listening to any covers from a band, and you're like, wow, I love this.
not necessarily like a cover band per se that specializes in that, but I still like, covers like I talked about earlier. I mean, even some of the ones that you see live that aren't necessarily released, like when I went and saw the Castellos, they did kind of their version of House of the Rising Sun, which was awesome. So it was like a country version with a banjo of House of the Rising Sun.
That is so cool.
Then they also did The Beatles Come Together, where all three girls took turns like singing the lyric. And it was incredible. And it was completely unlike the Beatles, but it was fantastic.
That is amazing. And I want to hear the girls go.
They were doing it. Their band was playing it. They were hitting that. It was good.
I want to hear them do that vocally. Do that vocally, ladies.
Exactly.
Then you can sing for Linkin Park.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's insane though. I mean, I love hearing a really cool cover. I love hearing a rendition of a song that you know really, really well and having it completely changed up, but still paying homage to what the original sound is.
Yeah.
Enter Sandman by The Warning. We
Exactly.
get it.
I was just thinking that.
And
Yep.
I can still give love to Verse 211, even though I'm not a big fan anymore. I can say that
Oh,
their
absolutely.
Over the Rainbow cover is still awesome to me, man. Like, I've heard the original so many times in my childhood. Hearing that, like, punked up kind of sound, I was like, that never would have come to mind as a thing that could work, and it did. Seraphim with Lost Cause by Billie Eilish. Never would have thought that would come to mind. It did. And then we got Against the Sun this year with Video Games by Lana Del Rey. I was like, what? Like, dude, that's amazing. And now I've heard Rain City Drive and Jordan both covering some song that I've never heard before, and I was like, this is amazing. I'm loving this. This is awesome. And so yeah, man, it's a good time for cover bands and cover vocalists and everything. Like, there's a few people that I still enjoy listening to that I'm like, yeah, I'll check out anything. Our Last Night though, I completely missed out on for like the last couple of months. I have to catch up on a lot.
Yeah. There's, I mean, and I think even a lot of those bands are kind of slowly transitioning away from being cover bands. I think of Our Last Night or No Resolve, where they're still doing covers, but they're also leaning more into their own original stuff.
Dude, No
And
Resolve,
so
though.
No Resolve is phenomenal.
Amazing what they did this year with the Bye 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 and I Want It That Way. Both
Yep.
those covers, the amount of effort in the videos, the amount of like commitment to make it as boy
Oh, yeah,
band.
Oscar even had the whole dance thing
Yeah,
down.
they got the puppet hands and everything. It was so cool, man. So
Yep.
happy. But yeah.
But then they turned around, they did God Bless the USA, and it was awesome.
Yes, another great cover from them this year. Yes, beautiful music. Like overall, they're geniuses. They know what they're doing, but at the same time, they have kick-ass music. Like they make metal.
Oh. Well, it's like Eva Under Fire is like that. Eva Under Fire, they got a lot of great, amazing original stuff. Amanda is one of the best singers I've ever heard live. She is phenomenal. And then when they do a cover, it'll be something that you just don't expect. Like, Separate Ways, or they did U2's, crap, I can't think of the song. Yes, With or Without You. And then this year they turn around and they do War Pigs. And I'm like, where did that come from? And it was awesome.
That's so good, and it pays homage to classic metal. I mean, that's Ozzy Osbourne, that's Black Sabbath, that's everything.
Yep.
That those elitists are like, you could never touch this. This is perfection. It will never be changed. And then people listen and are like, damn, that was actually pretty good. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
what did I hear? I heard, oh, damn, this is going to make me sound like a hypocrite, but I love First to Eleven's cover of Tina Turner's Simply the Best.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. I was like, what is this? Why can't you do more of this? And then the next cover, of course, Avril Lavigne, generic as fuck. It's so the same thing. It's like, no. You did it once and now you just can't do it again. Like, why?
I liked when they took songs that I'd never heard, or songs where I heard the original, I'm like, this song sucks. And then First 11 made it. And the one that always pops in my head is that Deathbed, Coffee for Your Head.
Oh, God, that's such a good song from them.
From them.
Yeah.
And then you hear the original, and it's like, oh, God, that's horrible.
That's kind of like most of their Billie Eilish songs, too. I mean, except for
Yeah.
Bad Guy. I don't know why they released Bad Guy fucking 5 years after the popularity has died. Like,
Yep.
they're just like, let's get on the hype train now. This is the perfect time. It's like, listen, when Halocene is already at 1 million or however big that they got played in the Australian talent show, I think it's time to say, no Bad Guy. Let's move on to
Yep.
some older stuff and continue with the older stuff. Because they brought
And the
their
funny thing
80s
is,
crowds.
they were usually pretty good about staying, like, current with things.
Yep, I think they're just following a list. I think they're
Probably.
literally going by whatever comments were left way back in time and saying, okay, that's the next one. Oh, but we don't have to
Yep.
do it. Nope, it's the next one. Oh, but when are we going to release it? September of 2024. That seems like the perfect time to release this cover. But it's trending right now. No, I'm telling you, September in 5 years, this is going to be so big.
It's going to be a renaissance.
This is gonna be the biggest thing of all time. Like, I swear to God, man, that's what the mindset is. It's like the list is just the way that they go by. And if you're watching this, Ryan, Sam, what's the other dude's name now that took over
Trevor.
Ryan's spot? Trevor, Audra. If you're watching this, take it to heart because it means something to all of us big fans from your original stuff. Like, we
Yep.
were there because we loved seeing new stuff as well as old stuff. And we
Yep.
don't want to see in the middle stuff. We don't want to see, oh, this was cool 5 years ago. It's not going to work as well. And you're seeing it by the numbers of views that these are not trending. They're not
Yep.
doing well. You got to stick with your 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's where
Dude,
your bread and
I still
butter
say,
is.
when they did November Rain, that was perfection.
Huge to
That was
people.
awesome.
I hate that song originally.
Really? I liked it. I liked it up, but I thought they absolutely nailed it out of the park.
Everyone says Guns N' Roses' like first album is like God tier. Like even Finn McKenty is like, oh, absolutely no question, S tier. And I'm like, Axl Rose, nah.
See, I think Axel is a horrible human being, and I think his singing now is god awful.
A horrible
and
human being.
He
What
never
did
was.
he do?
He never was a great singer, but it worked for that album. Like, that album was phenomenal. I mean, it's one of the best debut albums of all time. And I think it wasn't his singing as much was just the songs themselves were iconic.
I can agree with that. What makes him such a horrible human being, though? Is this a Patreon exclusive? How much do you hate Axl as a
Axl?
person?
Oh man, he destroyed that band. I mean,
he's the problem. Okay.
Yeah, he's the problem. He's like an egomaniac, and have you seen him lately? He doesn't even look like Axl Rose anymore. He looks like
his fat
Bill
ass.
Belichick's like had a kid with that old woman from Throw Mama from the Train, and out came Axl Rose.
I don't
It's
even know
horrifying.
a second reference, but I like that you put so much effort into thinking about it that you're like, that's 100%. Like, I gotta find a picture of these two.
And when you hear him sing now, he's like, ah! You're like, what the hell is happening here?
It's terrible, man. I
Horrifying.
didn't like his voice at all. I thought that for the first time I was like, wait, people like this. Unironically, they think this is good. This is a good voice. Like on November Rain specifically, I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something. Is this pre-recorded, post-recorded? Did they do any post-production? What's going on? The instruments sound great, but what the hell is this voice? And people
I think
like,
it was the songs really that got him.
yeah, it's the writing, I guess. It's the popularity.
Yep.
It's the time period. It's the nostalgia of it. And let's talk about nostalgia. Let's talk about going back in time, Brian. It has now been a year since we talked. What is new in the world of classic rock that you're like, holy shit, these people are the best now or the worst now? I've seen a downfall, huge downfall, by Bon Jovi. What do you think of Bon Jovi?
Yeah, the new stuff, it's like, dude, just stop. Because Bon Jovi is so iconic. And his stuff from Slippery When Wet all the way through the 80s and 90s is still, I don't care what anybody says, it still sounds awesome today. All the way through, Living on a Prayer. That's just absolutely, like you said, God tier level music. The stuff from like the 2000s forward, and it just keeps getting worse. It's like, dude, you're ruining your own, the way that people look at you, the way that people remember you.
The legacy.
Just stop.
Yeah,
your legacy is just going in the crapper. And it's probably not because he built up such a good, but still, it's like, why? You don't need the money. You don't. Why?
Yeah.
Why are you selling this?
I don't know, man. I was trying to listen to his new single. It was an attempt. I was like, I don't know who recorded this. I don't know if it's the studio's fault. I don't know if it was the band choosing to go the most generic direction of modern rock, but there's no flavor. There's no feeling. And their song is called Legend or Legacy, and it's like, that's not what I would consider that at all. That it feels like emptiness. It feels like the emptiness machine.
He sounds like an old man trying to sing.
Yes, he does.
It's just, it's sad.
Now let's talk
Now,
about...
I will say, my dad and I, about a month and a half ago, and I realize it's not necessarily the original members, but we saw Foreigner live.
There you go. I was going to say my dad loves them.
One of the best shows I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
They were incredible. Like Foreigner, first I forgot how many great songs Foreigner had, and I'm like, oh, that was them too? These guys were absolutely amazing. They're probably in their late 60s.
Yeah.
They're jumping around the stage, putting on a show, sounding phenomenal, and it was unbelievable. It was... I went into it thinking, this would be kind of cool, kind of nostalgic. I absolutely loved it.
I love that you just said Foreigner, because not only did I just add them to my top 5 classic rock bands playlist, but I also was told by my dad, who saw them just last month, I think, or maybe it was this month. He said it was unbelievable. Like they had John Waite open, and who else was the other one? Cheap Trick? No, not Cheap Trick.
No, it was
I know I'm putting you into a absolute
Renegade. They do Renegade.
No, there's so many songs called Renegade, Brian.
All right, now I gotta look it up.
That's it.
And I know, and I gotta be honest with you, that John Waite was great. John Waite, actually, I thought he was phenomenal too. But the last band, I was disappointed.
Before
Styx.
You thought Styx was disappointing?
Yep. Honest to God, I was bored. I was bored. And I don't know if it was because they followed the other two and it was just so awesome, and then I was like, I was so bored, dude.
Dude, Styx is like the iconic power metal voice. Like that guy has created power metal.
They looked like old guys up there. Like they're not moving. They're just like, and I'm like, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And here's the sad part: it was in Pittsburgh, so like everybody was all psyched to hear Renegade because that's what the Steelers play. And I was bored to death. We left early. I was like, Foreigner's done. Let's just go.
Oh, wait, Styx played after Foreigner?
Yeah, Styx was like the headliner. It was John Waite, then Foreigner, then Styx. And I'm glad it was that way because when we left, we weren't fighting everybody leaving. We were like, yeah, we saw the good ones. We're out.
Oh, my God, dude. That's how I felt when I prevailed.
Styx, and I was so disappointed. It's not like they sucked or they were offensive. I was just bored.
Yeah. No, I mean, Foreigner obviously got you all the way. Like, hook, line, sinker. You were ready to give in to this band. You were going to buy all their merch. Get everything signed. Be like, sign my chest. Like that
Well,
band...
I was going to go buy a t-shirt, but they were like $50. I was like, I'll go on Amazon and buy one for like 18.
Smart man, smart man. My ear is being absolutely destroyed by this extremely small hat. Ah! Okay.
But the other show I went to last weekend, so shortly before the warning this week, was Allie the Piper. And she was awesome. She was down at the Irish Festival in Pittsburgh. Have you ever seen her?
I have never seen her.
Okay, you got to look up Allie the Piper doing Crazy Train. And she's playing bagpipes. She is awesome.
This is the hurdy-gurdy thing again, isn't it? This is where Brian finds a woman that plays a random instrument and stands over this woman to no end because she plays a random instrument, and it's good music, obviously, because
awesome.
You're not going to like anything that's bad and be like, oh yeah, no, she's too hot, so that must be good music. But I appreciate that you always find some random instruments being played by very attractive women, and you're very fond of it. You're very fond of the hurdy-gurdy, the bagpipes. That would literally make me, like, I would my ears would bleed. I can't. Oh, let me give you a story, and this is story time with Dan. Story time with Dan. I went on a retreat with my church to Notre Dame University in Indiana. This was the biggest college I had ever been to because I was just sophomore year of high school. Like, it was really, really young, shy Dan time. And there was two dorms that we had. One with the women's dorm with air conditioning, brand new plumbing, all taken care of, shiny, perfect rooms. And then there was the guys' dorm. The place that it looked like it has been around since the 1800s. There's no air conditioning. The heat is from the outside, and it has infected the entire building. You want to sleep at night? Open your window, put a fan in front of the window, get the cold air that might exist, and then put that onto your face as your very, very thick blanket is not helpful at all. Rip your blanket off and just pretend that you're comfortable. But it was one night I'll never forget. I think it was bagpipe night, but there was another one too. Bagpipe night, most random fucking thing, 12 o'clock midnight. We're just watching a documentary. Me and my roommate were watching a documentary on Pope John Paul II. It was like a biopic documentary kind of thing. And I'm just relaxed. Nothing's really happening. And I'm like, you know what, man? I'm going to start sleeping. All of a sudden, we hear bagpipes playing outside the window. Loud as could be. Because they had to practice for the band the next day. I cannot tell you how much I hate that instrument for ever existing. I was like, dude, I can't sleep with bagpipes out the window. And they were screeching. Horrible.
If you give Allie the Piper a chance, it might change your mind.
This is it. Allie the Piper, you're supposed to save me. All right, let me get to the big story, though. It was around the same time. It might have even been the same night. There was a fire in the building. Firemen were called. fire alarms went off. I woke up. Everyone's already out of the building. I wake up. I'm looking around, and I'm like, is it a morning? And I'm like, it's dark outside. People are rushing down the hall to go down. They think the building's literally on fire at this point. Obviously wasn't. I'm okay. I am walking down the hallway, half awake. I had been sleeping for 3 hours. We stayed up too late listening to the Beatles or something. My roommate and I had this like crazy bond, and I don't think I know his name anymore. But I was walking down the hall, and these firemen are in full dress, like they are like panic mode kind of stuff. And I'm just walking down with my PJs on, like, and I walk out very quietly, very calmly. They're like, Dan, oh, thank God you're alive. And I'm like, what's going on? There's a fire in the building. Oh, that's why those guys are down the hall. I'll never forget it. Never forget it. That was one of my favorite retreats. I had a really good experience overall with God and being like more aware than ever that I was supposed to be a leader in the church. Like he gave me so much wisdom to put through me to give to my group of people, and I was the young guy. I was new to this whole thing, and that's why I knew I wanted to be involved in retreats. So it all goes back to that. But at the same time, bagpipes. Oh, bagpipes. Okay, so I wanted to go back to the classic rock thing. I gotta say this. Chicago has made the best choice they've ever made with the choice of having their vocalist be removed and then brought this guy in. This guy almost sounds like Peter. Still has his own sound,
really,
but sounds like Peter. There are songs.
I haven't heard the new guy.
Oh, that's it. We're going in, Brian. That's it. There's no question. You have no chance now. You have failed. You have failed. You have failed, my friend. This is it. This is it. You have no chance of escaping. There is no escape.
Then you got to play Ally the Piper.
And then I'll play Ally the Piper. Okay, listen.
Here's the cool thing, and I didn't know this. She actually went to the same college that I did. She went to Edinburgh University here in PA.
What?
Yep.
Is she around the same age as you?
She's younger. She's about 29 or 30.
So when you meet her in person, you got to be like, where did you sit? That was my seat.
Well, actually, I interviewed her last week, so...
Unbelievable. I'm excited to see the interview, and we will go into the...
It's going to be good.
Interview and interviews. I'm excited, man. I got 3 more things that we definitely have to discuss, because obviously your channel name alone is a VIP experience, so I have to talk about your VIP experiences. This is just giving you a heads up on what I'm thinking. Then we, of course, have to plug all your stuff, make sure that we know what's coming next, and then I want to make sure that we focus on your interviews, because you're the master now. You do it in person. What a crazy thing to think about, like walking up to random people that you've never met other than online and saying, I'm going to hold a microphone in front of their face and seem comfortable. Like, I'm barely able to hand my business cards out, which I now have. I'm so scared. I walk up to the merch booth like every other person, and I'm like, do I do it now? No, I have to start mid-conversation. No, I should do it right now. No, I'm definitely going to do it after they say something. And the guy looked at me from Of Virtue, and he's like, dude, that's an awesome shirt, man. And I was like, this is it. This is the perfect time. I'm going to do it now. And I was like, oh, yeah, thanks, man. I'm Media Man Dan, by the way, from Instagram. And, yeah, here's my business card. Can you tell the band that I'm really interested in interviewing you guys? Also, I love Lee, and I love everything that he's ever created. And I know that he helped you guys out. And blah, 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 blah. So it's just like that nervousness that you have from, like, being too big of a fan. So I'm going to learn from you, Mr. Wise Man, on how to interview people in the most professional manner. Where you don't feel so nervous. Like, when do I talk? When do they talk? When do I talk? Here it's easy, because I'm in control of everything.
Sure.
The screen is all I have to look at. The camera lens that I've been looking at for the last 6 years is all I have to see. It's easy.
Now, see, I actually think, because now, obviously now I do some interviews over Skype. I think those are a little harder than in person.
Oh, okay. We're going to have to dive deep into that. For now, we're listening to If This Is Goodbye by Chicago. Get ready for what you've been missing.
And this is the new guy?
This is the new guy. This came out in 2022. Peter's best replacement yet. Come on. I'm gonna get an ad for Democrats. I apologize if you have to see it.
Oh,
Nope, never mind. They let me skip it finally. It's not even for Democrats. But just listen to this sound, man. It's so beautiful. Oh, it paused. Hold on.
Just a bunch of crazy kids. Look at all the things we did. Never thought it'd end like this.
it does sound similar to
Playing in the high school band. Never really had a plan. Made it to the promised land. So here's a toast to me and you and every single show. Cheers a toast to living fast but always dancing slow. Here's a toast.
I like that.
Right?
Saying yes whenever I said no. If this is goodbye,
There it is.
let's take one more shot for the memories.
This is Chicago
To
sound.
be enemies. And if this is tonight, you can save your cheers for the other guys. I'll see you in another life. I know.
What do you think, man?
I like it.
Isn't
That
that
is good stuff.
insane? I was so happy. I was like, no way. Okay.
That does sound exactly like the original. That's awesome.
Right? I was so pleased, and I told my parents, and they didn't believe me when I first said it, but then they saw them live this year, because apparently my parents have more of a social life than I do, to go and see more concerts of legendary artists than I do, but I give them props to make some time for it and have a blast. My dad saw so many great artists this year, and some of them were great, some of them were bad, some of them were less than he had expected. He really wanted Heart to be the biggest thing of the year, and it seemed like they were great vocally, but he said that they would go on and sing these songs in different ways than they originally recorded, in different tempo.
See, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, so it's not everybody's cup of tea.
What's that third one down in your list? Radiohead? Who's that? They're doing that POW song, Creep.
So this is thank you for saying something. I can't even see what you see. That is Anthony Vincent covering Creep as far as I could see. Where is it?
No, it's in your search thing. That's like popped up at
Oh,
it says
Radiohead Creep.
Chicago with this possible first we've ever. Yeah, that's a POW song. I don't know who this Radiohead is trying to do a cover of a POW song.
You're funny, man. No, it was.
I'm
I
gonna
was
have to
trying
let her know next time I see her. Be like, you guys know these guys are trying to rip you off.
I was trying to show my parents "Creep in the Style of Muse" by Anthony Vincent. 10-second songs. The man, the myth,
Yeah.
the legend. Oh, also, it's IMY2's song. You have to remember that.
Oh yeah, there's Annalise.
That's her song.
She's an amazing singer.
She really is. All right, let's go into your who's the bagpipes?
Allie.
Allie. Allie.
Ally.
Ally. Even easier. Pipes.
The Piper.
Piper. Allie Piper.
And look for Crazy Train.
She's the redhead.
Yep.
Piper.Alley. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go Crazy Train.
It's gonna blow your mind and change your perspective.
I know what it's gonna do. Is it's gonna freeze my computer. That's what it's gonna do.
Because it's too awesome. Your computer can't. Actually, it's on the listing over there on the right. Oh, never mind. There we go.
Beautiful. Okay, official music video. Let's go. Let's see what we
So
get.
where this was filmed is actually the same place that I interviewed her like a week
No
ago.
way.
Yep.
Okay, let's see.
Have you heard about the salt trick that's making men stay hard for hours in bed? It might sound
No, I
bizarre,
haven't heard of
but your
that.
wife or
Please
girlfriend
tell
will
me,
thank
ma'am.
you for watching this video. Go to your kitchen, grab a
bet he
pinch of
will.
salt, and try this simple 15-second trick
All right, hold on. Let me
discovered
go get some salt.
That's it. That's the intro to the whole interview right there.
Awesome.
Oh my god, dude. YouTube, why? You tell me. I can't say anything about vaccines. You
Yeah,
tell
and
me
then that's
I'm a
on there.
danger to the community, but then you tell guys how to get hard from AI women. Oh dear God.
Mm-hmm.
What a world. What a world. Okay, anyway. I got a family plan for you. I don't think you understand what family is. You've broken the family with AI girlfriends
Exactly.
telling me how to get hard.
Exactly.
Fuck, bro. All right, here we go. Okay, so at least has dual playing.
Yeah.
That's sick. See, by itself it sounds terrible, but adding in the extra instrumentation, that's a good choice. It feels like it's still the same song.
He
She
plays
walks like a badass with the bagpipe. Oh, thank God. Thank God. That was the best thing, and it played the whole time. Holy shit, that was cool. That was an absolutely amazing thing.
You know, that brings up a good point. Like, talk about AI. What do you think of the whole AI music thing now?
Oh my God, dude. When I heard Chester's vocals on the Emptiness Machine, that was hard, man. That was hard to listen to. I not only did I love it more than the obviously Emily version, because I'm like, obviously this sounds like Linkin Park if it's Chester, but it was just like the fact that they could get that close to an
Right.
iconic voice with just teaching a program. That's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. So I think it's gone too far, and
Yeah.
it's getting out of hand, and the amount of power it's going to have in the future is going to be extremely, extremely dangerous. Like, it's going to use my voice and get me canceled. It's going to use your voice and get you canceled. It's going to take all of our
Or your
jobs away.
face, or
Yeah, your likeness. It's going to create
it's
characters.
going to look like you committed a horrible crime.
Exactly. And that it can make you say anything. Anything. All the words that you've never wanted to say out loud or only say on Xbox in 2011, all of those things can now come to fruition as you have to expose that apparent side of you that you never knew you even had, because AI has exposed you to the community as that. And that's what they'll
Yep.
do. They'll take things out of context. They already have complete idiots. I would say retards, but I don't really care for that these days. But they have complete idiots that are ruining mindsets based on lookalikes, doppelgangers, and AI faces. And
Yeah.
it's the specific account that I have to call out here. Fake Ortega, or whatever it's called, the Jenna Ortega fake channel, not Jenna Ortega. Terrible for humanity. Terrible for people that want entertainment. Terrible if you respect these celebrities. These are doppelgangers. These are people standing in their place and making millions of dollars off of doing the same things that you enjoy from a
Yep.
show, pandering to you, and you're so stupid to go into the comments and say anything at all so that it continues to be pushed in the algorithm. So they have 7 million subscribers as they sit down in their fake world and they continue typing on their fake keyboard and fake responding for fake money. Oh wait, no, that's real money out of your pockets for some fake loser who's probably a dude creating these women and their facial features and all of the other things about them to create an illusion that you are interested in as a single guy, as a single girl, as whatever. You're going to see that and you're going to give it likeness and personality and make it into a human being in your mind. And that in itself is so incredibly dangerous to humanity.
Oh, yeah.
The day that this happens, where you guys have gone so stupid to the point where we're in idiocracy that we say, let's give rights to robots, is the day I will be decapitating human beings across the planet because they're not human, they're robots.
Yep. Yeah, I hate it, specifically within music. I don't like it because it's gonna push out real musicians. And it's going to get to the point where it's like, you know, I go on YouTube and I'm like, oh, this sounds pretty cool. I'm like, wait a minute, something's a little off. And I'll scroll down and you'll see something. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to listen to this crap now when I know it's AI. And I mean, we're already, if you go to a show now, a lot of places, they're only half full. It's like people aren't going to shows. And it's just, I think it's going to ruin music as a whole.
Yep. Except for Starset. They are absolutely killing it right now, exposing the AI with its own technology, making it as disturbingly creepy and just off-putting as can be. You feel horrible after watching their videos now, after you see what is going on, but the music is so damn good that you don't care. It's so good because Starset's a master of what they do. But either way, let's jump out of this. Let's jump right into the most important thing, Mr. VIP Soundcheck. As a VIP sound checker, that is what I would consider your fan base. What's your fan base? Have you created one yet?
Oh, you know, I haven't thought of a name. That's a good one. I gotta think of some kind of name for them.
Yes.
But that was actually part of the thing why I like the name VIP Soundcheck, because it was like, first of all, it was a lot easier to remember than what my old channel was. And it made sense. When you hear VIP Soundcheck, you know to expect music. And I felt like with VIP in it, you're kind of giving people a sense that they're getting some behind the scenes or something a little bit extra. And that's what I really wanted to push.
Yeah. And you know what I got to say? This is a critical response from a friend to another friend here. Get the out of your at. It is so hard to find VIP Soundcheck by itself because it's looking for the in your ad.
Yeah.
It's not about the main channel. You could keep the main channel the way it is because you could put Media Man Dan and people will find Media Man Dan. It's that I'm typing in VIP Soundcheck and I'm like, who the hell is this loser? Brian's got 50,000 subscribers. Who the hell is this guy?
I honestly think when I found it, I think I had to put if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And that's how it was originally because they were like, here's the only one that works for you. And then it was the VIP Soundcheck 01, which is even harder to type in because you're like, I just need the VIP Soundcheck.
That was because it got shut down.
Yeah,
that was because of that crap.
Stupid. But it's okay. You've made something out of yourself, and this VIP experience, I got to ask, overall, what is your favorite VIP experience you've had? What is your ultimate one-on-one or multiple artists that you've been able to talk to because you have put yourself behind the scenes? You have got closer and closer to that band, that artist, that person overall.
I would say, I'll give you a couple of them. I mean, one obviously is The Warning. You know, being able to talk with Danny and Pow and sit on the couch with them, and Ollie was sick. But I mean, that was cool. That was really special, particularly giving Danny the donut pillow, which, you know, became a thing in and of itself. But two others, and actually one was one of the best VIP experiences I ever had, and it was actually before I got into YouTube. And it was with Dean Brody, a Canadian country singer. And I took my dad up there. We had the VIP pass. And, you know, we came in and we were literally in a hockey arena. So the VIP experience was in the locker room. And there was maybe about like 20 people there. We were the only Americans. And he came in. It was him and Dallas Smith. It was like a co-headlining tour. And they did, you know, played a couple acoustic songs. And then there was question and answer. And I told him, you know, hey, Dean, how I found out about you was on YouTube, his song Brothers. And the song is about, you know, a little boy and his brothers going off to war. I said, it reminded me when my brother went off to war and, you know, how I felt. And he's like, oh, man, he goes, you know, we got to get that song in for you for tonight. I'm like, that'd be cool. He goes, what's your name? And I said, Brian. And he goes, what's your brother's name? I said, Mark. And he looked at me weird. Like, I'm like, did I just piss him off? Like, what happened here? And he didn't say anything, but he finished that. And as he was leaving, he walked by me and he leans down, he hugs me, he goes, hey, my brother's name is Mark, too. So I told my dad, but during the show, me and my dad were like right up front. Like, you know, there's always that little gap where security goes in between you and the stage. We were there. Well, Dean was playing, and I saw this guy come out, and he's looking around. I thought, oh, maybe I'll go up on stage or something. That'd be cool. And he comes over, he's like, hey, are you the guy whose brother was overseas? I said, yeah. And he hands me something, and he says, Dean can't do the song. I'm like, what? He's like, he can't do the song. I'm like, okay. He goes, but he wants you and your dad to go backstage after the show. Like, okay. So that's what he had handed me, was this piece of cardboard that said, something about like backstage. I'm like, all right. So we go back there and we walk back through the maze and we open up the door to the green room, and there's Dean Brody, and he's like, oh, Brian, how's it going? Comes over, hugs me and my dad. And he was saying, I'm really sorry I couldn't do the song. We would have had to switch out equipment. I'm like, oh, no problem. He goes, well, if it's cool with you, I'd like to sing it now for you.
Oh.
So me and my dad sat on a couch, and like right across, 5 feet away, Dean Brody sat with his guitar and he played Brothers. And I filmed it. I've still got it on my phone. And it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life. And at the end, he looks at my phone and goes, thank you, Mark. And he finishes. I was like, man, that was awesome. Thank you. He goes, you guys want a beer? I'm like, hell yeah, I want a beer with Dean Brody. So we're back there for like an hour just having a beer and just talking like you and I are now, like old friends. It was incredible.
Oh my God, dude, that is an amazing experience, and I'm so happy that you focused so much. You probably didn't even know, it was subconscious, that the title of your thing was based on that experience alone. That would probably hit so hard for you that you're like, I need to do something as tribute to this experience. I need to give people that same experience. And that is the passion that I promote on this podcast.
That's right.
Boom,
That's
baby.
right.
All 3 P's right there. But dude, that's amazing. What was the other experience you had?
So the other one that I think is, and I've had a lot of that have been awesome, interviewing VIPs, but I would say probably one of the coolest is Smash Into Pieces.
Yeah.
So I've actually interviewed them twice. The first one was with the old channel up in Canada, and that was cool, getting to meet them, get to know them. But the second time around this year in Pittsburgh was even better, because I kid you not, I walk in the room and Chris Adams, like, there he is, comes over, gives me a hug. Like, we're like buds now, which blows my mind. I mean, when you watch the interview, you can see they're getting goofy. They're laughing, they're joking around. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. My parents were there, my brother was there, and it was out. So after the show, Chris Adam they come out and they meet with everybody. But Chris Adam was holding a piece of paper that says, I don't talk afterwards. I'm trying to protect my voice. He's a singer, and so people were coming up, and he would just kind of nod and wave, and we came up, and he reaches over, gives my mom a big hug. He hadn't hugged anybody else in that line, right? Mm-hmm. Then he leans over, gives me a hug, and he looks at me and goes, I'm like, all right, cool.
You have his number?
Like, hell yeah. I've got him on like Facebook and everything.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've been Facebook friends with the entire band since I first started doing YouTube, because one of my very first videos was an artist spotlight on them.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody here knew who they were. They're like, what are you talking about, some band from Sweden? I'm like, go listen to them. They're freaking phenomenal.
And that was like Evolver album or earlier?
It might have been. I think it was.
Or it could have been, what's the other one? The one with the rain in the title. Shit.
I think it might have been Evolver. Because that's one with APOC like this, right?
It's the one with the purple. Nope, that's okay. Yeah. You're right, yeah. He is like this. Rise and Shine. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
So it was after Rise and Shine.
Yep.
Awesome, dude. That's amazing. So that was like right in the growth period, because Rise and Shine, in my opinion, one of their songs, is so incredibly close to Red that I gave them the pass. I did the pass for them. Brian gave me all the hype in the world about this band, and if you find my first reaction on Rumble, which you can right now, you can go see my reaction to Forever Alone. I was like, Brian, pop rock, what is this, dude? Why would you want me to listen to this and be like, wow, Dan, this is the best thing I ever heard? No, it's not, Brian. This is just generic, regular EDM rock music. And so when I got into their whole discography and I was going through freaking Rise and Shine and I got to the title track, I was like, oh, okay, I see.
But see, they can play anything. Like, they can do like the EDM, they can do the hard, the metal. I swear there's some songs that border on country that they sing.
Yep. And I'm excited.
They're just phenomenal.
Man.
I still think Stay is one of my favorites because it was the very first one I heard from them, and I love that song. But I gotta say, Afterglow from the newest album, oh, that song is awesome.
Dude, Sleepless from the most recent album. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I played Sleepwalking. My bad. Sleepless.
Sleepwalking.
Sleepless in Seattle over here. Me. Okay. Sleepwalking is my favorite track currently. But yes, I also think Afterglow is amazing as well. You guys can go and check out our entire reaction on the channel. It's on the YouTube channel on Media Man Dan or Concert Man Dan, whatever I call it now. And it's also on here on Spotify. And the bonus stuff is going to be on Patreon. So if you're not subscribed to the Patreon, go and subscribe to the Patreon. Now, the most important part of any interview is promoting the person that I'm interviewing. But in this case, it's promoting the interviewer of all interviewers. The man, the myth, the legend, Brian here, has more interviews under his belt than I can count in a year. He is able to reach out to these people, meet up with them in person. He's got a museum, I've said it before, a museum in his house of just signed merchandise. In like, you think my backdrop looks cool? You're like, oh, Dan, look at all your cool stuff. That's nothing. It's nothing. Brian's collection is absolutely mind-blowingly cool. So I can't even explain it, but I could just say that they're in frames. There's signed stuff everywhere, and it looks. Actually,
like I was going to show you earlier. I have a signed banjo signed by the Castellos.
Stop it! It's not fair, Brian. I'm so behind. Here I am getting rid of my CDs. Like, oh, I have too much stuff, and you're like, I got a signed banjo from the Castellos. Dude, I swear you have so much time to do all this stuff, but you still have a full-time job. It's insane.
I do. I don't know how. I probably don't sleep enough. I don't know what.
So let's go through your interviews. Interviews started in what year?
Let's see. When was it that COVID hit? Was that 2020 or was it 2021?
So 2020 was the beginning of COVID in January overseas, and then it hit in the Americas at late March, early April.
That's when we shut down. So I started with the old channel. Literally, my very first interview was First to 11. It was January 4th, 2020. I don't know why January 4th stuck in my head.
Had you known what you were in for, you would have been like, oh, maybe I should reschedule with them in March.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy, dude. In
January.
I mean,
that was the first time I'd ever been on camera, the first time I'd ever asked anybody questions like that, done an interview.
Yep.
And it was just kind of like flying off the hook. And because I was friends with them, I was like, I'll start with them. And they got a big fan base and, that'll work. And I was sweating bullets for like the first 5 minutes. And then I just calmed down and it was a conversation.
Loved it, man. That was a great conversation. You had 3 times. And you were doing it like when Allison and I reviewed Aladdin, because I didn't know how to edit, much like you didn't know how to edit that stuff. So you're just like, well, we talked here and here, and then we stopped, and then we talked here and here, and then we stopped, and then we talked here and here, and then we stopped. So those are coming out simultaneously.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, then I went from there, and then my second interview was Claudia Heuser, the country singer I've become friends with.
And that's the coolest thing, dude, seeing your chemistry for that first interview that you had with her was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. She's so easy to talk to. And I think that's what really helped me was my first couple were so easy to talk to that, helped break down my fear and my insecurities. And it was like, okay, I can do this. And it was just, I still get, I wouldn't say, I don't know if nervous is the right, because I don't get intimidated by people, but I still get really excited going into an interview.
Yes.
And then, my heart's racing, and then I just kind of calm down once you start, and it just becomes a conversation. I would say the only time that I really felt kind of starstruck and like, holy crap, this is happening,
was when you were on my show.
Exactly.
That was the first time.
It was you and Jimmy coming on, and I was just like...
It was actually the Carly Shay Christmas episode. That's
Yes, right.
No, okay, what was the actual one?
But when we thought Jimmy was going to flip out that we didn't like the Polar Express.
Dude, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, you haven't seen the best episode until you've seen how Carly gets around Polar Express people. Whole different side of everyone on that episode.
Was great.
So fun.
But yeah, the one time when I was like, holy crap, this is happening, was I walked in the room of the green room and I turned and I saw Danny and Pal sitting on the couch. And they waved to me and I'm like, oh shit. I'm about to interview Danny and Pal of the Warning. Holy crap.
It's probably the one
That
most
hit me
nerve-wracking
like,
things, man.
whoa. But then again, after a couple minutes of talking to him, you just calm down and you're having a conversation and it's fun.
Was it the error or was it before error?
It was actually like as they were finishing up Error, so it was right before Error was released.
Oh
so
my gosh,
they
even
had
more exciting.
So they had released like obviously the Enter Sandman, they had released Choke, they had released I'm trying to think what else at that point.
Evolve
had been, I want to say like Money was coming out right about that time.
Oh my god, that was the hardest reaction for me to put out. That was the biggest pain in my ass, man. I don't know if you were still like, I think that I was bothering everyone in the chat all the time, but I would always give you guys screenshots of how much bullshit I was facing behind the scenes.
Oh
that
yeah, that
song
one was
alone,
rough.
I had to make it transparent. Then I had to put words over it. Then I and then re-upload it, and then re-upload it, and then re-upload it. I was like, why is this song so hard to put out?
Yep.
And it was because they got signed.
You know what's really a kick in the nuts is like you make a video, you do your editing, and you're like, all right, good, it's not getting copyrighted. You put it out there, it's doing good. 4 months later, you get a copyright notice. That's when I'm like, this is BS. Like, I'm
BS.
sorry. You didn't catch it in the first 72 hours, that's not my problem. That's on you.
Exactly. Be like, take my money and go.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so the warning, you sat down with Pao and Danny. Ale was probably too young, too busy?
She was sick.
She was sick. Okay.
Yeah.
So she was sick. Sorry, had to do that, you know.
Well, the funny part was she played through the show later that night. And so you've probably seen, because I did the interview, they granted me where I could go like in that pit for 3 songs and videotape them. Like literally Danny was 5 feet away from me up on stage and I'm filming.
It.
But at one point I went over and I was standing right in front of Ale and she was like, and I'm standing beneath her. I'm like, uh-oh. Like, and I look at her and she looks at me and she kind of smiles. I'm like, I'm going to go over to Danny's side now. Like, I don't want to get puked on.
So did she actually let it out or did she keep it in?
She kept it in.
Like a
she
real
kind of gave me
rock
like a little
star.
smile. I was like, and I went like this and she was like, she knew exactly what I was like. I'm getting out of the way.
See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. We got a VIP exclusive with the VIP Soundcheck right here. Ale almost puking her guts out on the stage with her sister.
It would have been like that movie Stand By Me, because then I would have thrown up, and then like the whole place would be thrown up, and it would be disgusting.
It would have been like the Family Guy thing.
Exactly.
Oh god, that's horrible and hilarious at the same time. Okay, so you had these 2 young ladies. They're sitting in front of you. You're nervous as hell. What got you into that comfort zone for this first starstruck interview that you were just overwhelmed with the starstruck feeling?
Honestly, I think just they both were very easy to talk to, and it just kind of took the nervousness away. You know, you forget the cameras there, and you forget that this is your favorite band. You know, you kind of stop thinking it that way, and you're like, all right, I'm having a cool conversation
with human beings.
Yeah. And Pao talks so much that like you don't really have to worry about talking.
So you just add one thing, be like, so it's cold outside. She'll be like, yeah, it is cold outside. It reminds me of that one winter back in 1996.
Yeah. No, I
mean,
but they were both really sweet. There was no arrogance or anything. It was just very easy to talk to them.
Love it, man. And you probably were sweating bullets after that.
I literally was sweating during that interview because I came in from the outside. It was in Canada. It was like 10 degrees. And then like you walk in there, it's like 80. And I'm like sweating. And Danny's sitting there. She's like, it's so cold. I'm like, yeah, because you're from Mexico. I'm like, you're not used to this.
Yeah, even their 80 degrees is too cold. Dude, that's crazy though. I'm so happy. Seriously, I'm so happy that you're able to have such a connection with them. And we're going to talk about the Rudy connection next because this is huge. But I want to say that like your VIP experience, the way that you're giving it to us, the way that you expose it in the best way has been an opportunity for you to give us just the most cool people. And that's what I do on my podcast. I promote the coolest people and their real personalities and how they really are behind the scenes. Obviously, mine are long takes. Yours are a little bit shorter. Yours are a little bit more polished in certain cases. Mine are a little bit more edited with the extra music and extra jokes and things. But yours is straight to the point, and I love that. And I love watching your interviews because you have a great connection with them. You could see they respect you, and I really respect you, man, because, you know, as someone who's very new to the interview scene, I love what I do, and I learned it from Jimmy. I learned it from you. I learned it from all the people that I listen to, and you know, it's something that always comes to me. It's like I'm doing it just like Brian's doing it.
Man, you're knocking out of the park. You're doing a great job because I love watching your interviews. I love, like you said, you do it in a different way than I do, but I love it. You know, it's amazing because you could see your passion come through when you talk to these people, and I think that's what gets me and gets what other viewers going, like, all right, we feed off of that passion. Yeah. And you can tell that you're not doing it just to get a video. You're doing it because you're a fan. You love the music. You love these bands. And that shines through. And I love how you do that.
Thank you so much, man. And yeah, I really do. I try to promote, but I also like when people think I'm just talking. They think it's, oh, Dan's just talking. If they only knew. If they only knew. If you only knew. But I'm telling you, you guys don't know what you're thinking because I've said it now twice on the interviews that are coming out. I'm going to make it as clear as I can. When I'm promoting people with passion, that's my passion. That's where I'm promoting myself, doing what I love. I'm doing this right now because I love it, but at the same time, I know how to work with it. I know how to take bits and pieces that are going to make you laugh, that are going to make you think. And we're going to put extra bonus content that is completely unedited on Patreon. Once again, go and watch that if you want to see the real stuff, because that's where it's at. That's all the raw takes. That's all the hilarious bad jokes that don't make the final cut.
That's where you get real crazy.
That's where most of the artists that I talk to are like, can you cut that? And I'm like, yeah, I'll cut that. But I mean, maybe it'll show up on Patreon. Who knows? Yeah. Because I like to stir the pot. I like to have fun. I'm me at the same time. I'm taking notes in my mind as I'm speaking. Every single thing that I'm hearing, I'm saying, okay, well, Brian mentioned this artist. Let's bring that up now. Oh, well, he said this. Let's bring that up now. And now let's bring this up. What is your ultimate favorite interview you've had?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Dean Brody, I'd say, because I mean, you didn't know.
Well, that wasn't an interview. I still want to interview him. That was just me because that was before the channel. Yeah. Boy, having just one is tough. So I'll throw out a couple. A couple have already said, obviously, The Warning, Smashed into Pieces. I would say, honestly, Brooke Surgener was a lot of fun. Whoa! And I just interviewed her the second time because her and I are friends, and she's, if you know Brooke, you know, I mean, she'll turn it around on you and start asking you questions, and I loved it. I had a blast talking with Brooke. Man, there's been so many great ones. Jason Benoit is a country singer up in Canada that I interviewed over the summer. Had a blast up there. Awesome guy. Hung out with him and his band the whole day. Literally in the trailer, we were drinking whiskey and having a good time. It was a blast. And then he put me in his music video. Like, it came out a week ago. I had no idea. Remember I sent that to you? I was like, holy crap, look at that. I had no idea he was going to do that. And I'm watching, I'm like, oh, Jason Benoit put out a new video. And I'm watching, I'm like, that's me. And so I texted him, and he's like, yeah, surprise.
Dude, because he was promoting all the people that promoted him. Just like the one band that me and Jimmy reacted to. We both got in their reaction-ception video. Like, it was super cool to see that we all took bits and pieces of our own reaction to their stuff, and they like somehow timed it out so it was like in the same beat as the music. Jimmy got a spotlight, I got a spotlight, Orion got a spotlight. Like, huge reactors, small reactors, everybody that gave the band a chance got to be in it, and I saw that same thing from this guy who just did that for you, and I was like, that's so cool, man. That's how it should be. It should be a full circle. Anytime you help someone, they should help you back. And I'll get to the big part at the end here. You already know some part of it, but I'll tell you how great it's going. So let's continue with your favorite interviews. You got to have one more, I know. Besides the warning, of course. These are the obvious ones.
Gabrielle Gonchikova was really good. That was one of the first ones that I did over Skype because she was in California. She's brilliant. I loved just picking her brain in here because she's from the Czech Republic, and when one of her first big time hits was when she covered Nazareth's "Love Hurts." She was 18 and she didn't know English. Whoa. She just mimicked the whole thing and nailed it. And just talking to her was phenomenal. She was an awesome interviewee. I hate to leave anybody out because there's been so many great people. The Harp twins were fun. The Wolfgang twins, the guys that play the drums with them, were awesome. It was just, I get to have one where I was like, yeah, that sucked.
That's awesome, man. And I feel the same. Every time that I finish an interview, first person I message is Allison. And I say, Allison, another awesome interview, another great interview, another amazing interview. They were so cool. They were so passionate. They were so perfect. Yep. I can't wait to post it. And that's what I feel from everyone watching right now. Like, if you don't understand how much effort goes into putting this stuff together, I try my absolute best to put all the best for the people on the podcast. I put you guys out there as the way that I see you, not the way that it actually went down. Most people are like, oh my God, I was so nervous. How did you do that? Because I just know. I know what I saw. I know the funny. I know the stupid. I know the things that are going to land. I got Winter's Whale. They're so nervous about their interview coming out next month. And it's gonna be nerve-wracking because they're like, oh my gosh, we sounded so stupid because we're Russian and like it's hard to understand our accents. I'm like, you don't even have to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
If you got one fart joke that you did, which was amazing, that's going in the intro. The rest of the stuff, I'm cutting that to pieces. I'll figure out exactly where each response lands with the way I'm timing it. Most people don't know some parts of my interview are at the end of the interview and they end up in the middle. Some parts take from the beginning and then end up at the end. Like, I've done it all over. In Jay's interview, I think his second or third interview with me, Jaden Canna, he has one point where he didn't answer the question until 45 minutes in, and I told him over text, I was like, bro, what the fuck, man? Because I had to take the 45 minutes in and put it all the way in the front when he's answering the question. And I was like, no one will ever know except for me. It's fine. I put it together. It's beautiful.
Yep. Yep. Not surprised.
Yeah, but
I mean, that happened something similar to me with the Voodoo Child because they're from Romania.
Yeah.
And they were nervous because they were like, oh, our English isn't that great. I'm like, you guys are doing fine. This is awesome. I appreciate it. And then I found out later through a guy that's part of their fan club and is close to them, he was like, yeah, they were telling everybody for like a month before that they were excited to do the interview with you. I'm like, are you serious? He goes, yeah. He goes, you were their first English language interview that they ever did, and they wanted it to be you. I'm like, holy crap, really?
That shows
That's awesome. I was like, that is awesome. And that makes you feel really good. Like, it's like, they see your work, what you do, and they like it that much. They want to be a part of it. I mean, that's a huge compliment.
That's the best thing in the world, man. And, I mean, these artists, they do give you back the support. They do share your stuff.
Absolutely.
They like your stuff. And once in a while, you happen to tag one of them and just happen to see that person liked it. And it blows your mind that they could even have a moment of their day set for you. And that person, right now, we got to give this huge shout out to one of the greatest vocalists of all time, Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm. Yep. How the hell did she find your stuff out of everything that she's ever been tagged in? She found it and liked it. Was it the same day that you posted it?
Yeah, it was. It was the same day, and it was the Cover Song Showdown that where she was one of the contestants for Heart's All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You.
Unbelievable.
So I tagged her in it because I always, like you said, you tag everybody.
Yep.
And sometimes you get responses, which is awesome. And I'm like flipping through, and I'm like, wait, that's got to be like a fan club. I'm like, holy crap, that's her. So that's why I shot it off to you and Jimmy. Like, dude, check this out. Lizzie Hale, watch my stuff.
That's the coolest thing in the world, dude. Oh my gosh. Have you seen her many times live?
I've seen her twice, and then of course next month in Canada will be the third time.
Oh my gosh, you're in for a big one, dude. So I'm not gonna be as able to, be like, oh, well, this was her in the past and this is her now. But I can say it was literally one of the most entrancing experiences I've ever seen from a rock show. Like literally from beginning, from the first note of their music, I was like, I'm in. I'm totally in. And there are ad-lib moments and there are freestyle moments with her vocals that blew my mind and kept blowing my mind. And then when I watched her drummer and all of them start drumming, I was like, what? This is amazing. And just like you felt for Styx against Foreigner, I had I Prevail after Hailstorm. And I was like, Allison, we don't even need to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're like, it's not that they suck. I'm just like, eh.
No, it is. I think I Prevail. It's not because they suck. It's because everything sounds the same when all you've heard is great music.
Yep, exactly.
So you're like, okay, well, that's really good, but didn't your last song have the same breakdown? Oh, that also has the same breakdown. Oh, okay. And then there was one point, and it's on my video, you can find it on YouTube, where they literally say to the audience, we hate playing this song, but because you guys made it so famous, we're going to play it for you tonight. It's like, don't play it. Don't play it.
Exactly.
Why are you torturing yourself?
Don't play it.
You hate it so much, but it blew you up to the top. It blew you to the where you are right now. It was horrible. Oh my gosh, I was so sad to know that after Hailstorm, there's literally nothing left for you. You see Hailstorm? I am not kidding, and I love my favorite band. But if Red were to play after Hailstorm, I think they would have been knocked out of the park. I think that's it. I've never seen more rock than Hailstorm, man. They're unbelievable live. Holy shit.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be...
Yes.
When The Warning is the opening act, you're like, this is going to be incredible.
They were the openers for this one?
They're going to be the openers next month.
Wait, who's the headliner besides Hailstorm?
Evanescence.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Evanescence, Hailstorm, and The Warning. That's right. It's the new tour. I'm thinking you're going to the I Prevail and Hollywood Undead and Fit for a King show. Very different. Very different. Oh, my gosh, man.
It's going to be sweet.
I'm so excited for you. But seriously, guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, go and check out everything that Brian has ever created, and you will find that 12-pack that Lizzie Hale loved. Lizzie Hale, who gave Danny a signature guitar on stage promoting The Warning to be the next big thing in rock music. And I just told you guys they are better live than my favorite band.
You just made me think of something. So I have to get an interview with Lizzie Hale because
yes,
we both have given Danny gifts that meant something to her that showed up in music videos. We're both from Pennsylvania. So
Red's from Pennsylvania.
Exactly. They're from literally 25 minutes from where I live.
No way.
Yep.
What about Lizzie?
Lizzie's kind of on the other side of the state. So she's from, I think, Red Lion, which is over by Allentown.
Oh, okay. Closer to New Jersey?
Yeah, closer to the Philly side of the state.
Gotcha. That's crazy, though. So you do have a lot in common with her. You have to get it. Lizzie, if you're watching... No, I'm just kidding. She's going to watch my stuff.
Lizzie. Let's do an interview. I'll be up in Canada at the end of next month.
I don't say things like Gen Z. I don't talk ever like the next generation. I hate everything about feminism and everything. You go, queen. You rock, queen. Slay, queen. Unbelievable performance. She is truly one of the greatest vocalists I've seen live. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. Unbelievable. I could never unhear what I heard that night, and it still plays in my head. Just seeing it for the first time, my jaw dropped. Allison looks at me and she's like, "Oh my god." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Holy shit."
That's do you ever hear that song that she did with Ashley McBride? Terrible Things.
Yes.
That's a great song.
Yes. Who else did a song with Ashley McBride? There was somebody recently, Allison and I saw. I'm thinking, I could be wrong. I think it was not Cassidy Pope. What's her name?
Was it Carly Pierce, maybe?
Carly Pierce, yeah, I think so.
I think it was.
And so she talked about the song with Ashley McBride as well. And so now Carly Pierce, why aren't you working with Lizzie Hale? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You're slacking, Carly Pierce.
Slacking. What is that? She had a health problem when she was opening for Tim McGraw, so I give her props for continuing her whole set. She did the whole thing
Sure.
while barely being able to move. I was amazed, and she was very, very good. A little egotistical, but very, very good. She had a little moment where I'm pretty sure it's not staged, but I'm pretty sure she did not hear her hometown in the audience. She like literally was like, what was that, Taylor Mill? Oh my god, I've never heard that before. And I'm like, do you do this at every show? That seems like you do it at every show. It doesn't seem like a genuine thing. Oh my god, Taylor Mill, thank you. Like, okay. All right, girl. All right. Anyway, that's useless. Useless Patreon stuff right there. Brian, thank you so much for joining me for another amazing
Absolutely, man.
chat.
Thanks for having me. It's
I'm
always
so
fun.
excited to have another one with you. This was an amazing interview. I appreciate you
Thank
for
you,
being
brother.
with me for another one. I hope all of you guys had an amazing time watching us and getting all of the extra content on Patreon. Once again, all of the links are in the description for that, as well as all of Brian's links. You've got Carly's links. You got everybody's links. Every song that we listen to here, that's all going to show up. Even the song by Chicago that I didn't play in full. Maybe I'll have that play for the entire rest of this. That's what I'm going to do. You guys have no chance to escape Chicago. No, I'm just kidding. But this was an amazing thing, dude. I was so happy to have you back on, and I knew that we would have just that instant connection again. And I know that I felt awkward in the beginning because all I was thinking was, I was like, Dan, you went in unprepared? And you have to make it up as you go. And I was like, well, I always make it up as I go. And it was like, but
that's the best way to do it, man.
I've been like thousands of videos behind you. So I'm like, I got to catch up on this, the 12 pack, all this stuff. And I didn't do it. I didn't do it this time. I was like, let's go. Let's wing it. And we had an amazing time.
It's all good. It was
amazing.
It's fun as always, man. Always a good time.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Hope all of you have an awesome night and stay safe out there. Peace.